When the first trailer for Super Mario Maker 2 was first shown, it was a surprise to see Super Mario 3D World. It was a surprise to see a 3D Mario game being included with the other 2D games. I wondered what other games we could get. I looked at the whole library of games and picked some I think could come to the game. I looked at the gameplay, the items, and the enemies to see what would be the best fit for Mario Maker. I ranked them from least likely to most likely. Oh, and before I start the list, I thought I would cover a major issue with bringing the 3D Mario games to Mario Maker. How to finish the level. It would be cool to put a star, shine sprite, or moon in the level for players to find. But I think that would make the ends of the level having the star hovering in the air for you to collect. Okay, with that out of the way, onto the list. Yoshi's Island for the Super Nintendo. Hey, it has Baby Mario, so it could be a Mario Maker. This is my favorite out of the whole list, but I think it has the lowest chance of being added, because Yoshi plays so differently from Mario. Although it did introduce the ground pound, which Mario now uses. I still see this game as a possibility, because Mario 3D World also had its own unique gameplay. I would love to make levels using the elements from this game. And of course, playing what other people could think of is exciting too. One of the challenges for adding this game to Mario Maker is all the bosses. They are really unique, but I don't think they would work well in the Mario Maker format. Especially the final fight with Baby Bowser. The first part would be fine, but it's the part when he gets really big that is the problem. Although it would be cool to change up the fight a little bit. I know this game doesn't have a chance of being added to Mario Maker, but it would be a lot of fun. It is a game that stood the test of time, and I think it has a lot to add. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Nintendo Wii. This Mario game probably has the most unique gameplay out of all the others. But that's the reason why I think it may not come to Mario Maker. They would really have to change the mechanics to do it justice. Yes, we already have low gravity, but it's more than that. They would have to be able to put planets into the levels. Yes, it would be really cool if they got this to work. Being able to jump from planet to planet and each of them having their own gravity. That alone fills my head with crazy level ideas. Using the planets would also make the Bowser fight unique, just like the Cat Bowser fight. Again, I don't think we're going to get Mario Galaxy and Mario Maker, but it would add a crazy new theme that would have massive amounts of potential. Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES. Yes, the turnip throwing Mario game, which actually didn't start as a Mario game at all. It was a game called Doki Doki Panic, and was later changed to Mario 2 for America. But even with that history, I think we could get it in Mario Maker. And yes, just like Yoshi's Island, it also has its own gameplay style, but I think it would be easier to implement into the game. They would have to make it so you can edit the subspace, so you can choose where you want the coins and the mushrooms to go. It would also be fun to hide 1-ups and stars there too, because the location you enter subspace depends on where you threw the potion. so it would be fun to place all kinds of secrets in the subspace for people to find. I don't think they're going to make the characters play differently, like they did in the original game. They're just going to switch out Peach for Toadette anyway, so no floating. They're probably only going to have Birdo and Wart, but I think that'll be fine. There are other bosses, but those two are the most recognizable from the game. There are a lot of enemies and items from this game that should keep the creative level makers busy for a while. I hope we do get this in Mario Maker, because I would love to play them. Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Since this is the first 3D Mario game, the designers were only thinking about how to use the 3D space. So some of the elements from this game wouldn't work well in Mario Maker, and would need to be changed. But there are some things that would be pretty interesting. The wing cap and metal cap wouldn't really add much. But the vanish cap could be really cool. It lets you walk through enemies in certain walls. That could be used to make some clever puzzles. Mario 64 is the only game where Mario can punch and kick. It would be another way to defeat enemies and destroy blocks. Kicking knocks over walls, making a new pathway. The biggest hurdle for this game is the Bowser fight, because the original fight involves Mario grabbing his tail, spinning him, and throwing him into a bomb. That wouldn't work in 2D. They would have to make him behave like he does in the first Mario or Mario U. It would make this version of Bowser less unique, but it's the only way I could think of to make him work in Mario Maker. I originally had this game lower on my list because I didn't think it had a lot to add. But the more I thought about it, there is potential. Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch. Yes, the newest 3D Mario adventure could be coming to Mario Maker. I've actually been replaying this recently, and I love how different the kingdoms are. They're definitely different from any other Mario game. They will be awesome as different themes for Mario Maker, although there isn't one for the Ghost House. Maybe they can use the Cap Kingdom for it. This game's biggest problem coming to Mario Maker is Cappy. He's such an important gameplay element they would have to bring it to Mario Maker. But if they did, they would make this game have the most gameplay variety out of them all. You could control the uproot guys so Mario could reach high places. Or control a Poco to scale a huge wall. You can even use a T-Rex to rampage through objects and enemies. Cappy would add more than just taking control of enemies. He gives you another jump. The Bowser fight could be changed for 2D. He could still throw his hat for you to take control of and punch him out of the way. Or it could possibly be used as a jumping pad to leap over Bowser. The Broodals would be a perfect replacement for Bowser Jr. and Boom Boom. They could even add all 4 of them for some mini-boss variety. The biggest thing that gets me excited for the possibility of Mario Odyssey in Mario Maker is definitely the ability to take control of enemies. It would add so much to the game, and would give the people making levels so much to work with. This game is great, but there is another game I think could come before this one. What could it be? Super Mario Sunshine for the Nintendo GameCube. Yes, Mario's Tropical Island Adventure is my #1 pick for most likely to come to Mario Maker. Because out of every other game, Mario moves just like he does in Mario 3D World, so they don't have to change much. But Sunshine also has a lot to add, with Mario's companion having the most potential. Yes, Flood!
I hope to be of assistance.
I don't think its normal function would do anything beneficial, except maybe spraying enemies, or maybe making it so Mario could slide on the ground. But it's the other attachments I think would be awesome. The hover nozzle would be used to give Mario a little bit more height to his jumps, and could be used to hover through dangerous areas. The rocket nozzle is so powerful, Mario could reach really high platforms. And the turbo nozzle will make Mario run really fast. Imagine using this in a speedrunning level. There's a lot of weird enemies in Sunshine, but they should work in 2D. I forgot this game doesn't have Goombas or Koopa Troopas, so the enemy lineup would be pretty interesting. This is the game that introduced Bowser Jr., so I'm sure he'll be an option. But I could see Petey Piranha working in Mario Maker. And just like in Mario 64, they would have to change the Bowser fight, because there's no way this would work in 2D. This island getaway would be a great fit for Mario Maker. There are a few things that would need to be changed, but they should make a unique challenge for makers and players. Especially Flood. I would love to play the levels you can think of using Flood. And that's my list. Do you agree with how I rank these games? If not, what would be your #1? We all wish these would be free, but there's a chance Nintendo will make this paid DLC. What do you think would be a good price for each game? I think $5 would be a good price for what these games would add. And I would gladly pay that for Yoshi's Island. I hope you liked my list, and I hope we can get some news about the new update for Mario Maker soon. Thanks for watching!